Hello class, this is about the Civil Code of the Philippines. Now the Civil Code of the Philippines is one of the many laws that we have in the Philippines. Okay? The Civil Code is actually a compilation of civil laws in the Philippines. Okay? When you say civil code, when you say the civil, or the word civil means it is about the relationship of persons to each other. Okay? This is about personal personal relationships, laws on the personal relationships of persons. Okay. So the name of the Civil Code of the Philippines is Republic Act number 386. Okay. And it was based on the Código Civil of Spain. So sa law kasi class, when you copy from another country a particular law, okay, it will mean that kung ano yung interpretation nila ng laws nila from that country is intended also to be the same dito sa Philippines. Okay? So that is why the Civil Code of the Philippines was copied from the Código Civil of Spain. So sometimes our courts, our lawyers will borrow concepts, principles from based on the interpretation of the Código Civil of Spain. Okay. And the Republic Act number 386 was enacted and signed on June 18, 1949. Matagal na class, more than 50 years ago. Okay, by the then Philippine Legislature. Okay, during that time, ang tawag sa Congress natin ay Philippine Legislature pa. And it was made effective on August 30, 1950 or 50 years ago. 50 years ago na class ang batas na ito. So any book on this is good. The basic principles is the same. So the Civil Code of the Philippines has 4 books. Yan. Book 1 is about persons, kung sino yung mga persons. Okay? Kailan ka gipanganak? Sinong nanay, sinong tatay mo? Anong legal relationship ninyo? Nandyan yan sa persons. Okay. Kasal, nandyan din. Sino pwede kasal? Babae at saka lalaki lang. Nandyan sa book 1. Sa book 2 is about property ownership and its modifications. So this is about property. Dito nakasulat ang what are personal properties, real properties, intangible properties, tangible properties. Nandyan yan sa book 2. And sa book 3 is about modes of acquiring ownership. Okay, related din siya sa book 2. So lahat ng properties na nasa book 2, the modes of acquiring ownership of those properties are discussed in book 3. Okay. Ang book 4 naman class, na dito ang obligations and contracts. Okay, which is from Article 1156 to Article 1430 of the book 4. Now, this book 1, book 2, book 3, hindi na natin yan i-discuss for purposes of your course. Kung gusto mo ma-studyhan ang book 1, 2, and 3, okay, after mo mag-graduate, mag-enroll ka sa law school. Okay. Ito is one subject, persons and family relations. And then properties and modes of acquiring ownership is another subject. Obligation and contracts is also another subject sa law school class. Okay. So do not be surprised na ang studyhan natin or any book that you will be reading will start with Article 1156 and will cover until Article 1430. Okay. And then from 1431 pababa, meron pa yan class, yung sales and other special contracts and credit transactions which will be covered in your law 3, I believe. Okay. Nasa book 4 pa rin sa class, pero beyond nasa sa 1431. But for purposes of this class, we will be only covering Article 1156 and Article 1430. Okay. So, ang Civil Code of the Philippines class, makapal yan na libro. Okay. Makapal yan. Ang the law, Republic Act 386, makapal. Okay. Then, ang tawag doon, Civil Code of the Philippines. So, if you are asked, meron ka bang copy ng Codal ng Civil Code? Ibig sabihin nila class, ng word na Codal is if you have a copy of Republic Act 386 na walang explanation kundi kung ano lang yung batas, yun ang Codal version of the law. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng Codal. Kasi yung libro kasi class, for example with Hector Dillon, Codal yun actually, pero each article diniscuss doon. For example, 1156, anong meaning? Didiscuss doon ni Hector Dillon. Ang tawag namin sa law school niyan, yung book na yan is annotated. The Civil Code annotated. Ibig sabihin, yung articles is may explanation sa ilalim. Yun yung book ninyo. Ang tawag namin sa law school is yung annotated form ng law. Okay. But kung purely law lang sa class, wala na explanation kung ano lang yung nakasulat sa batas. Provisions lang. Okay. Yung mga Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, ang tawag namin dyan class sa law school is provision. Provision ng law. Provided under Article 1. Ganun yun, provision provided by law. Okay. When you say Article 1, that is one provision. Article 2, another provision. So, those provisions, ang tawag namin is provided by law. So, when you for example, under Article 1156, which is provided under the Civil Code of the Philippines. So, ganun mag-cite. Okay, provision provided under the Civil Code. Okay, so, remember, pag sabing codal form, yun yung purely batas lang, walang explanation. So, you can actually download a copy of Republic Act 386 sa internet. Pero codal lang siya. Wala sa explanation. And you only take Article 1156 to 1430. Okay. If you want the explanations, then you find yourself a book. Nandun yung mga explanations ng authors. So, ito yung coverage from Article 1156 to 1430. Okay, we will be discussing number 1, obligations. Okay. General provisions, nature and effect obligations, different kind of obligation, extinguishment of obligations. Okay, and then part 2 na class, ang contracts. General provisions of contracts, essential requisites of contracts, form, reformation, interpretation, and the defective contracts. Now, Title 3 class is natural obligations. Kaning natural obligations class, okay, we will include this diri sa Title 1 kasi pareha lang sila obligations eh. Sa kinds of obligation, idagdag natin ng natural obligations. Kasi malaya na siya masyado, Title 3. So, mas related siya dito sa Title 1. So, we will be discussing this Title 3 natural obligations together with Title 1. Para half of your course class will be obligations, the other half will be contracts. Yan. Transfer natin yan doon sa different kinds of obligations.